Are we live? Alright. Welcome back to Cafe BuzzCo, guys. And we'll be talking about Group D today. My favorite group, which features the most talented midfielders from Spain, Croatia, Turkey, and the Czech Republic. I'll start by talking about Spain, who are bookies' favorites are up there to win the tournament. Again, Spain has been so dominant over the past how many years, winning the World Cup, winning 2 Euros, and they want a three-peat here. But there is some problems with this because they have become predictable. Del Bosque really hasn't evolved his team. They still are trying to play that football that they played that won them the 2 Euros, 2008 and 2012. But they're missing the likes of Xavi and Xabi Alonso. And he's trying to find replacements to play the same system. And they've also lost, the strikers they've had. And for example, at the Euro 2008, they had David Villa, they had Torres in form still back then. And they're trying to, they got Morata, which may or may not, work. So they're still in a transition phase, as he calls it. But as most people say, they don't know where this transition phase is going. And it's a pretty unstable team because they're capable. They had 9 wins in qualifying. They're capable of, going 8 clean sheets, and then they are capable of losing to Slovakia and Georgia most recently because they just can't seem to break through. They don't have enough offensive power. They can still hold possession. Most teams now are content. Go ahead, have possession. I'm just gonna wait it out, counterattack, score 1 or 2 goals against you, done. So it'll be interesting to see, but they have a very good chance of progressing out of this group, and I'll probably tip them to win this group, although anything is possible in this group, and this group is, I think, the group of death. A lot of people are saying Group E. I'm saying this group because I think that quality is really even across the table. The next thing I'm going to talk about is Croatia. Absolute juggernaut of a midfield, isn't it? Modric, Rakitic, the creative players who can just dictate tempo play, pop up with goals, amazing assists. Perisic, a great offensive player as well, scored 5 goals in qualifying. Their striker is a bit he doesn't fit the system too well, and he's not what they need, but he is a quality striker. Mario Mandzukic from Juventus only scored 1 goal in qualifying, but he always pops up with some goals, so hopefully he can add to the midfield, obviously scoring the lion's share of the goals. They have some defensive frailties with Serna getting older on that right back. Strinic, your best left back option, not really playing in Napoli, so it'll be interesting to see how Croatia do. They did decent in qualifying, tied 2 against Italy. So it'll be interesting to see. There is rumors that there's some something going on internally. There's some problems with the coach, the players, and so it'll be good to see how they deal with that. But I'm really looking forward to see the masterclass of their midfield. So technically gifted and just so amazing to watch. But equally as gifted and equally as surprising to see and watch is Turkey, because Fatih Terim, we've seen what he can do. He's the comeback king. He's just Euro 2008. We all saw what happened there and how they came back against Czechs, Croatia later on, and he did it again in qualifying. Abysmal start. Everybody's like, all right, you know what, we're done with you. He's like, nope. Slow down. I got it. And he got it. He had 3 wins in the last 3 games, and he qualified as the best third place team, I believe. So he's got some really interesting options in midfield again. Ozyakup, Turan, as well as Inan, who scored that free kick to actually qualify in the 90th minute against Iceland. It'd be really interesting to see. However, they do have some problems with their defense because Serdar Aziz got injured. Toprak is unavailable, so he's moved Topal back in to CB from his natural CDM position. That is going to be interesting to see because that breaks up the midfield. Be interesting to see. But he's a coach who, probably the best coach at instilling spirit into the team. His team is always up for it. They put effort, they put heart, and it'd be interesting to see if Turkey can pull off another miraculous, comeback. Because usually what happens is they lose the first game, and then they still qualify and they go deep. They went to the semis once, 2008. They went to, I believe, they got third place in the World Cup, I think 2002 or something like that. So really, you got to watch out for Turkey here. Really good side. And the last team in the group is Czech Republic, who a lot of people are predicting last in the group. And similar with Slovakia, I'm not quite sure why. Because they topped their group and they weren't, expected to do good against Netherlands. They've got a coach in Pavel Vrba who coached Plzeň, and no one expected him to get results against Atletico or Napoli, but he did. He's got his team playing good attacking football. He really loves attacking football. His wing backs are essentially wingers, Kaderback. If you play Pudil or Limberski on the other side, just go bomb forward. And you've got midfielders who can really, dictate play, create. Rashitsky, plus Seal, older guys, granted, but they still have that pass, and they have pace out wide, always can grab a few goals. Goals is not the problem. The problem with Czechs, I would say, despite having Czech in net, who has had an amazing season, is they can't seem to keep a clean sheet at all. Last 20 odd games, no clean sheets. It's part of the philosophy. He sends his fullbacks bombing forward, so there's a little bit of sacrifice there. But those 20 odd games that he hasn't kept a clean sheet, the record doesn't look that bad. They haven't lost too many games, so he produces results at the right times, and he topped the qualifying group. So I think Czechs are a force still to be reckoned with. Not as good as maybe a few years ago. Definitely not as good as the 1996 when they reached the finals and lost to Germany, but definitely a team to watch out for. And honestly, my final predictions, the only thing with certainty that I can say is I think Spain will top the group. Other than that, I wouldn't be surprised to see any combination of second to fourth, because it's just, for me, so close. I'm gonna give the edge to Croatia because they usually do pretty well, get out of the group. Their deep midfield is probably the most dominant out of all those. I'm going to put Czech as third because I think they've got the quality still to really worry some teams. I think they can easily get a result against Spain or maybe even Croatia. And I'm going to put Turkey last, but by no means is this because one team is better than the other. No, it's just because I have a feeling this time around Turkey will not come back. Okay, how many times can you do it? That's why I'm going to put them last. They could easily be second, but that's my prediction. Spain, Croatia, Czech Republic, Turkey.